Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or night, wherever you be. Hi everybody, it's coffee break time, so I'm here to talk to you about important life issues like drinking my decaf coffee. I should probably be having caffeinated coffee because we are going to, what's it called, jumping. So jumping is an inflatable indoor park. So it's like bouncy castle-esque throughout. So everything you walk on bounces, and there's like bouncy castle slides. And I don't know about you, but I always have to go in with Eliza in play, like indoor play stuff, and go around everything with her. So it's like 2 hours. It's exhausting. I do not work out. This is beyond my workout capacity. So yeah, so that's me today. So I'm like dressed, ready to bounce and to be, it's in like an industrial park, so there's like big tin building. I think it's supposed to be quite hot today, so it's going to be absolutely blooming roasting in there. So it's Friday, in case you don't know, and yeah, I said I'm here to talk about the important stuff. So the fact, like, I've got my coffee and that we're going to jump in. It's Friday, so in my Facebook group today, I always do Friday cards. So I've got my cards here, and they are these gorgeous Wisdom for Healing cards. And they're all about personal empowerment, and they're lovely pictures. So I always give them a shuffle and like hold an intention of a card getting my attention, which is going to bring them some sort of useful message or guidance or nudge or reminder for you wherever you are. And then I've already done it for today, so I'm just showing you really. And then one tends to like pop out and get my attention, and I grab that, and then I'll redo the message of this one because I've pulled it on the call. And then I do 3 and I pop them up in the group, and then people like to comment and say which one is speaking to them. And then later today I pop the reveal up and you can read your message. This one, if you're catching this today and you're interested, is examine unfinished business. That's funny because sometimes it's the small things, isn't it? But I just took off my nail polish, which was chipping, and I need to like repolish them. And I just held this card up and thought, oh, I've got my nails to finish, and examine unfinished business isn't always the big stuff, is it? Sometimes, not that it's about nail polish, but it's like that reminder of that nudge of the little things that matter to you and not neglecting them. And you know, all the years when Eliza was younger, anything around, even basic taking care of myself or my appearance or my presentation in any way was completely neglected. And so things like taking 5 minutes to whack on a little bit of nail polish sometimes, you know, it's symbolic and it matters, and it's not something to always put on the bottom of my list. So sometimes it's little nudges like that, isn't it? So the other thing we're doing today is when we get back from jumping is we are going to a family pride event, and I don't really know what we're expecting from that, so it's quite a bit different thing for us to do because I think it's going to be quite like noisy and busy. There's going to be bands playing and stalls going on, and so it will land as it lands. I don't know if it will be enjoyable for Eliza or not, but we're picking up her friend, and they have a lot of courage and conviction to do these things together that they might not if they weren't together. So that's a really lovely friendship for them, and so we're picking her up and going to that. And then I think it's supposed to be hot today, so they want to go to the beach, which is over in that area. So that's a possibility. I'm sort of seeing how our energy goes because Eliza was feeling a bit ropey last night, so we'll see. But we might do a late night beach, which Eliza's been asking to do for ages because her friend does that all the time because she lives near the beach and we live a bit way away. So we'll see how we go. And then she's coming back to sleep here tonight, and we're going out for lunch tomorrow before we drop her back. So that's all really nice. Something's getting my attention here. What else? Maybe it was just the cards. I felt like I was going to share something else with you. Anyway. So how are you doing today? Sending lots of love to you, making sure that you feel connected to somebody wherever you're at, seen, appreciated, loved, honoured, sending all of those vibes to you, you wonderful parent. I see you showing up even if you feel invisible and lost and in the wilderness today, which we can do sometimes, can't we? Cheers if you've got your drink to have a break with me. I was pondering something this morning, which was actually talking about my nail polish. Like, this is distracting me, so I'm just going to voice it. But I put too much product in my hair today and it feels really heavy and sticky and yuck. But I didn't want to wash it again because we're going to do jumping and I'm going to get all sweaty and gross. But it's like, it's sitting all like heavy and bugging me. Anyway, as I said, little things that matter. So this morning I was thinking about something. So we live in a multi-generational household. We bought a house with kind of multiple rooms and opportunities with my in-laws when Eliza was small, before we knew she was PDA. So it's been an interesting journey for them. And so you'll probably hear me talk about my in-laws quite a lot, and it's just because we see them constantly because we live in the same house. And so they often feature in, I suppose they're an exposure to me to something which is outside of our little bubble, where we're all extremely PDA tuned in and adaptable, and grandparents really try to be, but it's not as instinctive for them. They're of a different generation, and so I guess things come up which are interesting sometimes, and are an interesting reflection for me of how people are thinking differently and being differently in the world, and how that affects us as a PDA family. And this morning, I saw my father-in-law in the kitchen and he said, "What time are you going out?" And now this is a small question, but it's one that he always asks. It's like a thing with him that he always wants to know, what time are people leaving? What's the plan? What's the route that you're going to go on? Of course, my answer to that is always, I have no idea. Ask my sat nav. I just stick a postcode in and go, which he just can't understand at all, and will give me directions, which I don't absorb at all because I'm absolutely clueless. I just, okay. So he says, "What time are you leaving?" And I remember that actually now I can give an estimated time of leaving. This is subject to many potential delays and changes and all these things, but we are actually able as a family now to put in well considered, scheduled appointments and sessions and things like that and work towards them. I always plan them at a time that meets our flow, etc, etc, but we do have some sense of being able to schedule in that way, with lots of space around it and all that. But when Eliza was smaller and didn't have a concept of time, as now I'll say we're leaving at so and so a time and she will work towards that goal. She will watch the time, she manages her times with some prompts. But when she was small and she didn't have that concept of time, it brought so many challenges. And I remember so many conversations of what time are you leaving, and me just in exasperation and exhaustion over and over again, just saying that is a how long is a piece of string question. All I can do is get up in the morning and move towards the goal of leaving the house, and we will go when we go, because I've got nothing else to offer. And if you relate to that, I was thinking of that and I thought I would just share that, because I think it really matters to hear stories about where you might be at, and I hear other people relate to that. And even then, when we would leave, I would often feel so compromised, like I was saying earlier about my own self-care, my own, being able to get dressed, and sort myself out in a way that I felt presentable in the world. And that isn't talking about with high expectations, just feeling like me, and feeling okay. And I would often make big compromises around that to get out the door. And even then it was just, we had to do hours of connection and role play before we could manage the ordeal of me popping in the shower, and things like that, and things like getting ready to leave to go on a holiday and doing packing and stuff, all the obstacles that are in the way to these things that are just so hard for people outside of our world to understand and so invisible, don't make them any less real or valid for us. And it's really important that we can sit in our power and be okay with what it is, and or be okay with feeling the fact we don't feel okay about it, you know, just moving into that peace and acceptance rather than pushing against it and resisting, because it is what it is, and we either choose to feel okay with it or we don't, but either way it is what it is. So actually a lot's shifted and changed for us, but that comes, I just knocked my table over. I was putting my feet on the table and wiggling it like I do, and I just knocked it over. But the changes come from the space of peace and acceptance. This is what I call the group Peace with PDA, because it's all about having that peace in our body's energy system that allows our natural state of well-being and allows the vibration, the openness, the feeling that allows new opportunities, new support, new ideas to flow to us, and allows things to shift and change, because that resistance, that tension, that stress, that pressure is gone. And if anybody ever is going to be our, you know, our sensor, our alert, our alarm for that stuff being around, is our PDAs. You know, they are super sensors for detecting any kind of expectation, pressure, stress, resistance, you know. So that's your blessing or your curse, depending how you decide to see it, I guess, because it really is a beautiful opportunity if you are invested in your own development and growth into more freedom and lightness. You know, that really is a beautiful gift to see that stuff that's there, if you want to and if you choose to work with it. Oh la la. Right, my loves, so I'm going to go and get on. I hope you have a very gorgeous day, whatever you're up to. I love chatting, but I do try and keep these videos short. It keeps it manageable and approachable for me to keep doing them regularly, and B, it means you've got time to watch them, because I know how it is. So send in lots of love, have a good one, and I will see you ASAP. Bye.